This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
Rooker, it's a 5-0 to deep center. Robert going back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Adolis Garcia sends on the other way. That sends Carroll back. He's at the wall. And the legend grows. Ronald Acuna, another milestone in a truly historic season.
Julio with an absolute nuke out to left field.
It's Glaber Day. And like a good Glaber, Torres is there.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe. From humidors to Stuff Plus to walk-off dingers, we have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to A's Cast Live. I want to make a change to our open. Can I do that?
What do you want to put in there?
Because Glaber Torres sucks.
True.
He sucks.
We also didn't think John Sterling was retiring when I made this highlight.
I could listen to John Sterling all day long. Bele te bele. Glaber Torres, and nothing personal to Glaber Torres as a person, but he stinks. You want to know why I know he stinks?
Because he's on your fantasy team?
Because the computer drafted him for me, and he's terrible. Get him off my open. If you're not going to hit on my fantasy team, get him off my open. That's how I feel. Sorry to be starting a little bit late, a little snafu. We are back. We are ready to go. I am excited. Rhett Bollinger, who covers the Angels for MLB.com, we will talk to him not only about Angels baseball, but we'll also talk. He's a big USC guy. As he's getting ready for Big Ten action, my own daughter is now getting ready. As my kids got into Cal, my one daughter is going to be a cheerleader. She's getting ready for, wait for it, Atlantic Coast Conference action. You know it as the ACC. So we'll get into a little bit of that with Bollinger. And then we got hot takes. I got a hot take today. It's Hot Take Tuesday. So if you're bringing a take, it better be hot. If not, get your ass out. That's where we're at. That's it. You know what this show is today? If you're not bringing it today, get your ass out. If you're not going to bring it to the ballpark, walk out of the clubhouse.
Fair.
If you're showing up today to strike out 3 times, you can't hit Griffin Canning and you can't hit Tyler Anderson today.
Well,
get out of here.
Well, Anderson's been pretty good for them. He might be their all-star.
He's got an under 3 ERA.
Might be their all-star. We have news before we get to Rhett Bollinger.
I'm fired up today.
Well, here's the news. I got the graphic sent to me, and they asked if I could do it. And
I
said yes. Mark Kotsay has been named to Bruce Bochy's staff for the American League All-Star Game. So congrats to Kotsay. He's going to be on the coaching staff for Bruce Bochy in the American League in the All-Star Game, which is in Texas at Globe Life Field.
Well, that will be the first thing we're going to talk about on the Manager's Show this week. Congratulations to Mark Kotsay. And, you know, it's really one of the cool things in our game when you have a relationship. Obviously, this relationship started in San Diego when Mark Kotsay played for Bruce Bochy. And now Bruce Bochy, we know everything they did in San Francisco, winning the 3 titles, and now winning another title in Texas. And he's basically Mark Kotsay's mentor. That's a really cool story. It's a cool story. I mean, that is a long time relationship, you know, because you're not buddies with all the guys you manage, right? Obviously, there's something special there between Mark Kotsay and Bruce Bochy that all these years later, you know, we know for a fact, he's talked about it on this show, how they go to dinner together when there's like questions and issues that Mark Kotsay may have. One of the first guys he calls is Bruce Bochy. And pretty cool if Bruce Bochy is going to take him to the All-Star game. That's in Arlington, right?
Correct. Globe Life Field, yeah.
Pretty nice little run for the Texas Rangers, huh? World Series and now the All-Star game.
Max Scherzer's back. Maybe things are starting to turn around down there in Texas for them.
Wow, you went there? You're buying that?
I'm more buying in the Astros coming back.
You think Rhett's buying that?
Let's find out. Maybe
do you think he's buying? Is he buying Rangers fun. Are you buying Rangers baseball right now?
Not quite this year, no. I mean, last year was a great run to the World Series. This year's been pretty rough for them, but I do think Scherzer does help them. But so far, they haven't been playing very well in general.
Right.
I was thinking about watching the highlights of the Freeway Series and watching Shohei Ohtani go deep and just thinking about where the Angels are right now. Just take us through, how tough is it right now for Angels fans? Mike Trout's out. Just what is it like for an Angel fan right now?
Yeah, it was a tough offseason. Obviously, to lose Ohtani the way they did and see him go to the rival team and the Dodgers hurt even more. And then really to have an offseason, they didn't really do too much in general. Only added relief help, and their biggest addition was, Robert Stevenson for 3 years and $30 million, and sure enough, he's on the injured list with Tommy John and out for the whole year. So I think most of the fans expected it to be a down year. Obviously, losing Ohtani, and kind of at least the ones that are kind of understand that it's kind of about the young players now and kind of trying to focus on guys like Zach Neto and Logan O'Hoppe and Nolan Shannywell. But it's been a rough go, and then end of April was especially tough when Trout and Rendon went down right around the same time. Couldn't even get past April. You knew at some point those guys historically have had so many injuries, it was going to happen at some point, sadly. But to have it happen so early was definitely disheartening for the fans, and it's been a rough year for them. But I do think that right now it's kind of focusing on the young players, and I do think they do enjoy Ron Washington and the energy he brings with his coaching staff. But overall, it is definitely tough.
Well, you know how much we love Wash here. I've been interviewing Wash on this program and other programs that I've done for many, many years. He's a special guy, but it hasn't been easy. Like, it looks from afar like it hasn't been easy. Just talk about so far the tenure of Ron Washington.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's a hard worker and kind of gets his hands dirty. A lot of managers might stand around batting cages, take things in. But he's one of those guys that's in there kind of working with the defenders, especially a lot of drills. So you've actually seen a lot of these young guys actually improve, especially defensively. I mean, Shannywell at first base, especially. Neto's been great at shortstop. He's been, I think, one of the better shortstops in baseball defensively. So you've seen that growth just on the infield from some of these young guys. And they're buying in too. That's the biggest thing. It's a lot different than a lot of the guys are used to, even the veterans. I mean, even early this year, after the very first game of the season, they had an off day and they had a full team workout. So you got to have the veterans to buy in on that. It's different, it's kind of almost like college a little bit. So, yeah. But this team, in a lot of ways, has guys that are literally just were out of college. I mean, shoot, Shannywell was playing at FAU a year ago, and I think Neto was out at Campbell 2 years ago. And so these guys are all pretty young, in their rotation too. Soriano is only 25, and, Joe Adell's 25. And so they've got a lot of young players. They're trying to kind of get ready for the future. But otherwise, it's been kind of a carousel of a lot of veterans coming in, Kevin Pillar and Luis Guillorme, and they had Cole Tucker here for a little while, and Miguel Sano's back. So a random mix of some veterans kind of filling in, but really it's more about the young guys.
Well, remember, before you get out of here, I will be talking to you about college, because I know this whole offseason you've thought about the Trojans against the Fighting Illini, Trojans against the Hoosiers, Trojans versus the Boilermakers. We will be getting into the Big Ten.
Perfect.
USC, UCLA. Ron Washington, having guys stand up and talk about mistakes, going over mistakes, very, very teachable moment. How has that gone over with these Angel players?
I think it's gone over pretty well, but it is kind of, speaking of football, it's kind of almost like a football, kind of meeting where you're going after, after practice, you're going through, looking at the reps. Hey, you should have done this better. Hey, look at this missed assignment. It's kind of like that, but on a baseball sense, for saying, hey, what were you thinking here? Why did you not on the relay play? Why didn't you hit the cutoff man? Or why did you go throw here? So I think it kind of teaches these guys, and they kind of can learn from it. But even the veterans are called on to ask what they did and why. They do it not only with the position players, but the starting pitchers as well, in terms of some of the pitch selection they're going with. So I think these guys are learning from it. We've seen a lot of the starting pitchers especially improve. They had a really rough April on the pitching side, but since then, Griffin Canning's pitched a lot better. Soriano is pitching much better. Even Sandoval, before he had, his Tommy John, or before he, tore his UCL, they've had some guys kind of get. Tyler Anderson's been great all year. So they've actually had pitching's been a little bit better, and I think maybe that's helped. And the same thing, the pitching players have gotten, better, these younger guys, but it's still been a rough year. But I do think these meetings at least are showing them what they're doing wrong, and hopefully in the future they don't have to do that anymore.
Well, and Wash just may be the right guy, the old guy he's got toughness to him. He's an old school teacher. This may be just, as you talk about the young players coming up, Shannywell, Neto, the more young guys are coming, maybe Wash at this point truly is the right guy, right time for the young players and teach them how to get better.
Absolutely, I think so. And the thing is too, like, so these guys do buy in, especially Neto. Neto's kind of been his little mini me that follows him around all the time, and and Neto's got a good amount of confidence and stuff like that, and likes to joke with Washington. But you can tell it's kind of his guy there at shortstop. So yeah, I think that's a big thing. Is these guys, as long as they buy in, because it is different. But these guys are so young, they don't really know any better in a sense. But at the same time, same thing with the coaches with, they have EY senior at third and Bo Porter at first. These guys are learning kind of base running on the fly. Truthfully, this was an organization that didn't really stress base running or base stealing at all in the minor leagues in the last few years. So it was kind of not really the thing. So a lot of these guys that are up here, including Joe Adell, have made a lot of, bad base running mistakes, but they're kind of learning from them as they go along because they never really had a chance to learn from them in the minors. So there's just a lot of teaching going on at the major league level here, which, ideally you get that done in the minor leagues, but unfortunately this team hasn't really had that happen. And a lot of these guys were brought up pretty quickly too. So I do think that Wash being kind of that hands-on, kind of almost like a coach / manager is a good fit for them as long as they do buy in, which I do believe a lot of these young guys are.
What you just said makes me sad. I mean, I'm not an Angel fan. I rip the rally monkey all I can. Well, yeah, we got a rally monkey, but I always respected Mike Scioscia. I respected the way the Angels played baseball. The Angels were some of the best. When you talk about base running, going first to third, second to home, fundamental baseball, under Mike Scioscia, the Angels were fundamental. They guarded 90 feet. They took 90 feet. Base running was a specialty of the Angels back in the day. So when you say it's eroded, to me, it kind of like so much of baseball, so much of good baseball has eroded, and it's sad. I hate to hear that. I really hate to hear that.
Yeah, it is sad. You're right. Absolutely. Scioscia, established a culture here. That was a full-on Angels way of baseball. And, I was around it a little bit as 2008 to 10. I was a backup here in LA and got to see it up close when they were really, won 100 games 2008 and had a good run there in the 2000s. And a lot of it was because of their, their base running, their defense, the fundamentals, kind of that small ball mentality that it really, I think, really helped them. And I think they kind of lost their way since then, and they've had so many managerial changes. They had Osmus for only 1 year, and then when Joe Madden was available, they jumped right to him, and then they ended up firing Joe, and then have Nevin as an interim, and it's just been a lot of changes over the years. It's hard to really have one of these managers really set down their own style or formation, and I think that Ron kind of has been able to do that kind of the same way that Scioscia did. But like you said too, it's changed so much in the game. There's not that many managers out there anymore who have that kind of power or that kind of way to kind of change a culture, because so much of the front offices are so involved nowadays. But I do think that Perry gives Ron a pretty good leash to be able to kind of have some of that power and some of that say, even just organizationally, on what they want to do and how they want to look. And that's very similar to Scioscia. And I think that's why they had, in the early 2010s, they had such great matchups together with, the Angels and Rangers, and of course, the A's too.
By the way, you can tell Artie Moreno and Perry Manassian, thank you, that we have taken them off the hot seat. Everything's focused on the A's, us, our move to Sacramento and everything, because what's going on in Orange County? There's been politicians who have been thrown out of office. People have been jailed. They don't know where they're going to play. Is Artie Moreno going to keep the team, sell the team? There's been all this going on, but no one's paying attention to anything going on in Orange County. Everybody's paying attention to us.
Yeah, it's definitely true to kind of get glosses over. The Angels fans certainly know, and down here they do. But so it's been a crazy few years here with the failed stadium deal, with the FBI involved, and obviously a lot of other lawsuits going on and stuff related to Tyler Skaggs, which is of course a horrible tragedy. And just the fact that we thought that Artie was going to sell and then decided not to for whatever reason. It sounded almost like cold feet. So yeah, and then to not invest and then not sign Ohtani, I think was a big thing for the, I think the fans are definitely frustrated about that because of the fact that Ohtani did go back to them, and it sounded like, the Angels just weren't interested in doing that kind of deal, which actually seems kind of team friendly in a sense, because the way that the structure is actually less money than in a sense to defer it that way. But so yeah, I think the fans definitely are very frustrated. And I think rightfully so. It's been a decade of not making the postseason now, and obviously not going to make it this year either. So, but at least, like I said, I think the fans are trying to focus on the young guys they have now. But even the farm system right now isn't in a great spot. They've got a couple of really good prospects, but not an overall ton of depth there or real high quality. So, it's not a rebuild, but that's also the hard part too. They're not going to do a full rebuild with Trout under contract and even Rendon for 3 more years too. So they're in a tough spot. And Perry's in the last year of his deal. But he said he's going to do right by the franchise at the trade deadline and do what's best for the team, not for himself, not the fact that he's going to, trying to keep his job or do something in the short term or something like that. So I think at least he has the big picture at heart here, but we'll see what happens at the deadline. They do have some veterans they can trade, but not a whole lot they could get a ton for. But, Tyler Anderson and maybe Taylor Ward and Carlos Estevez, Luis Renjito are probably their biggest ships there.
All right, I'm not even going to ask you about Rendon. It's not. We all know. I'm not even going to ask you. Not even worth it. But Trout's sad. I mean, I mentioned it yesterday with Matt Vasgersian. We had him on. I was like, Matt, watching Mike Trout, you knew you're watching an all-time great. I mean, this is a guy that we've seen him since day one. He's incredible. I mean, he was on pace to have one of the great WARs in the history of the game and to be in that upper echelon of great players. And it's like every year now, taking on the Angels, no Trout. I mean, how covering the team, what is that like when it's just, day after day, here's a guy's an all-time great, but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, it's a major void. And like I said, it really is sad, but the thing about him is he really does care a lot. Even when he told us about the, the knee injury that came out of nowhere, that night he stole a couple bases and, we thought there's no way he was hurt. And sure enough, the next day he comes out and tells us that he tore his meniscus, and he was, emotional about it and crying because, he does care. He wants to be out there. So it is tough to see him have to deal with that the last, several years now. And, even the 2020 year was shortened in general. That kind of hurts his overall career numbers. So you're right, leading up into his late 20s there, it looked like he was going to be on track to have one of the highest WARs ever. And now, barring a late 30s renaissance here, it's going to be tough for him to do that just because of all the injuries and stuff. And, but he's still under contract here until 2030. So it's still a lot of time here to get it going. But, it's just been a rough go. All sorts of freak injuries, too. Last year was a hamate bone. This year was the meniscus out of nowhere. And truthfully, he's just not a very fast healer, too. Last year, the hamate bone took him out for the rest of the year, even though it happened in early July. Right now, he's still not on the field after his surgery, I believe, in May. So it's been a long kind of recovery for him every time he does get hurt. So it's just tough, though, for the fans. Even, being in the media, you'd love to see Trout play and to write about him and the joy he brings to the baseball in general. He's just such an elite player and a really good guy too. He really is just he carries himself so well. He's just a true pro and a leader, even if he's not a vocal guy. I covered Joe Mauer for a long time, and they're not the rah-rah guys, but they still mean a lot to their teammates and just command a lot of respect and work so hard. And he had a lot of injuries too late in his career, so it's unfortunate. Hopefully Trout, he's only in his early 30s. Hopefully he can get healthy here and have some more big seasons. But the last few just hasn't been the same.
Well, since you brought up Joe Mauer, let's talk Minnesota, because I'm sure you are extremely fun. Well, which one are you more excited about? I don't know if you're getting all the family together and you're going to travel, because obviously you love your alma mater and you want to go watch some USC. Is it the Gophers of Minnesota at Minnesota, or are you more fired up to play the Terps at Maryland?
Ooh, I think I'll go with the Gophers on that one. The other one, too, which will be exciting, although I'll probably go to watch my Trojans get their butt kicked, but is at Michigan this year, too. So yeah. I have my tickets for at Michigan. I have my tickets for at Minnesota. And I have my tickets for Vegas for USC, LSU. So might be a lot of wasted money, but we'll see. I enjoy going to the games when I can. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting with this Big Ten and all the changes and all that. But Minnesota will be fun. I'll get to see a lot of friends and up there and visit up there in October.
How about Trojan fam? Nothing says Trojan family weekend like the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, the big storied rivalry. I mean, who could forget that Rose Bowl back in the day? The Wisconsin almost came back in 1938, whatever it was. I mean, that's an all-timer.
Wait a minute. It gets better because homecoming is against Nebraska.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was the big rivalry. They played each other, I think, in 2007 and 2008. Yeah, that was huge back when Callahan was there.
How do you
forget?
How do you feel about the Big Ten move? What do you think it's going to be like?
I'm a West Coast guy. I grew up here in LA area, and so I've always loved the Pac-12 and formerly Pac-10 growing up. And so I think it's sad. I mean, I like the West Coast, and I want USC to keep those traditions alive with those teams on the West Coast. So I think it's sad that they play in the Big Ten, but I understand why they did it for the money. The TV runs everything. My hope is that this only becomes a football-only type of deal soon, and then they can get all the other sports back into, make sense for conferences. Because why are Stanford baseball playing in the ACC? Why is Cal playing in the ACC? Why is USC baseball playing, in the Big Ten in the fold against Illinois or whatever they're going to do, and swimming and diving or whatever? Any other sport. It's just why football to me, it's, not that many games. It's not as, I still enjoy the rivalries, so I don't love the fact that it's new, but to me, it's just more of the other sports. It just doesn't really make sense. So I'm more of a traditional. So I'm excited, but also sad.
Yeah, my kids, my twins are going to Cal this fall, and my daughter's going to be a
Congrats.
cheerleader. And so she's going to travel, I guess, on some football trips. And yeah, to think that Cal's going to be in the ACC, Stanford, it's just, one of the big first home games for Cal is Miami. I mean, to think about that.
Come on.
Like, what?
That's so crazy. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So hopefully
Well, you know what? We didn't see you for half the season, and now it's like we're going to see you every game. So we'll be talking again soon.
Sounds good. I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'll be up in Oakland the second time, not the first time. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, good to see you. Nice. Thanks for everything, and we'll talk.
Of course. Great talking to you. Thanks for having me on.
Good stuff. Yeah, the Angels didn't see him for 80 games. Now we got him like every other game, every other series. Every other series is Angels and Mariners.
Yeah, we finish our series with the Angels season series by the end of July, and we just started seeing them at the end of June.
You're playing more Penn State, USC. I mean, this schedule is it's like, what am I looking at?
I'm kind of excited for I don't know about you, but I'm excited for Cal Florida State.
Oh, really? You're not excited Cal North Carolina State?
What about Cal going to? Well, it's not Heinz Field anymore. Whatever they call it. I can't say the name of the new stadium they have in Pittsburgh where Pitt and the Steelers play, but what about Cal and that's a non-conference game. Let's say Auburn. That's non-conference.
San Diego State's non-conference.
Yeah.
Who else is on there? Who else?
UC Davis.
Oh, the Aggies. By the way, you have not mentioned. I think you're bearing the lead of today's show today.
Your hat. Oh wait, what about Cal Wake Forest?
I've waited my whole life to see the Demon Deacons against the Bears.
Tim Duncan versus Sharif Abdul-Rahim. I'm
busting out a brand new hat that I bought in the off season. Lids in the mall. I saw this hat. I went, that hat is sweet. And I forgot I bought it. And I just recently found it. And I realized, oh my God, I haven't worn this on the show. I think this hat is amazing. How many people have this hat or seen this hat?
When you first showed me it, I thought we wore a hat similar to that for batting practice.
Used to wear this is not your typical style baseball cap. Yeah, we had a green with a white elephant.
Yeah.
But this hat is different.
Not the dad hat.
Look how big the elephant is.
Yeah. We call that a dad hat.
Yeah, well,
us
guess
kids.
what?
I love dad hats.
I think the hat is sweet. And I'm always looking, walking around the ballpark. I'm always looking at people's merch because I look at a lot of merch. And I like to have different merch than other people. And I've got older merch. I got stuff from way back. I've never seen anybody have this hat on. So I thought you were bearing the lead of my sweet ass hat on the show today.
We'll let people know a little inside. But when we're at the ballpark, we play the jersey game with people. So if we see a player's jersey, like we'll see a Mulder and Hudson's, we'll go, hey, Barry Zito's here. And people will be like, really where? And they look down and it's like, he's not really here.
Well, when the Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig are here and the interns go, what? They kind of have a hard time with that.
Babe Ruth with his name on the back of his jersey.
They have a hard time with that. Yeah. Kids, they never had the names on their back of their jerseys back in the day. Oh, I didn't know that. It's a little joke. I don't want to. How do I want to spin this? We got Johnny and 10. All right. Somebody needs to have a big old meeting with the Savannah Bananas. Bring Johnny Gomes in, get a powwow, and you might be saying, well, what's Townsend talking about? Folks, you hear like our broadcast team loves it. It's the big leagues. It's the big leagues. It's the big leagues. Folks, the big leagues, as we know it, is getting beat in television ratings by WNBA, college baseball, and Olympic trials. Cannot believe it. Major League Baseball went out and did everything they could to promote Rickwood Field and honoring Willie Mays, the Negro League players, Birmingham, Alabama. They went all in, put it on Fox. Got their A broadcasters. They got great former players, big names. They did everything. MLB Network was on board promoting it. Everybody was on board. I think every team promoted it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Should have been massive. You're getting beat by Caitlin Clark in the WNBA.
And the College World Series.
And the College World. These are on cable. This wasn't on cable. This was on Fox. Forget Game 7 of the NHL blew it away.
Good for hockey.
I mean, what are we doing? And look what we're doing on our own broadcast. We're just now showing you StatCast stuff. I think it's cool, but by the way, it doesn't sell.
Oh, you don't want to see StatCast stuff? You don't want to...
No, I love the StatCast stuff. I think the stuff that we're putting on NBC is great. And we start to use it.
Here's the starting lineup today.
By the way, that doesn't sell. That doesn't sell. Everything we do is not like they need to figure out how to make our game cool. Because no matter what StatCast thing you bring out and StatCast now, weekend the baseball bat, and obviously it's not working. Selling analytics is a failure. It's a failure. When we have Mike Farron on
Friday,
I can't wait to have this debate with him. These guys get on and they just want to analytics you to death. By the way, how about the baseball draft? Let's talk about prospects. Well, maybe college baseball at least got ratings. College baseball doing better than Major League Baseball? I mean, I'm not talking about some just regular game. I'm talking about a game that Major League Baseball put $5 million into fixing up Rickwood Field. They promoted it like you wouldn't believe. And you lost to not the Olympics, Olympic trials.
Plus the College World Series game was 2 SEC schools.
Yes. That's a whole nother thing. It's the Southeast.
Quick aside on that, they showed a picture of Morgan Wallen. Is that his name? Whalen, the country singer sitting there. And they like put a full screen and they're like put a whole graphic. Sitting next to was Peyton Manning. They didn't even acknowledge Peyton Manning was there.
I saw highlights of Peyton Manning at the end. He's a big man. I mean, should that alarm you? Should that alarm you that you went all in on Rickwood Field? Honoring, and Willie Mays just passed. You're honoring Willie Mays, one of the all-time greats. And you're getting beat by WNBA? Good for WNBA and women's sports. I'm all in. But WNBA, Olympic trials? Olympic trials. Not the Olympics, the trials.
Track and field. We got to
track and field. What is swimming now going to beat baseball?
Oh.
I mean, you know what? Like when I listen to our own broadcast and they'll be like, hey, it's the big leagues. I'm just going to be going, Scary. Thank God you guys all listen and care about this show and the A's Clubhouse show because our sport is having a hard time figuring. And by the way, do we got to have any more bombshell articles about how offense stinks? Right? You know, the WNBA, you know what they do? They score points. They're exciting. Ball movement, shooting. College baseball, they score runs. Olympic trials, you're looking at the fastest human beings. They're sizzled to the steak. There's sizzle, baby. There's something there. I mean, we walk out. I was really curious to see how this game was going to do on Fox, not on ESPN, not on MLB Network. It was on Fox, and they built it up and promoted it. Because if you don't know, every year the All-Star game is down. Every year the World Series is down. I don't even need to bring that up. Everybody knows that. Like, this was a game that you put a lot into and you promoted. And you're not drilling people in ratings. And you had no competition. There was no NBA, done. There was no hockey that night. You had no competition. You're getting beat by Scotty Scheffler in golf this past Sunday. And it's not a major.
It's Travelers, right?
The
So,
Travelers,
yeah.
yeah. So this used to be not a question. This used to be never brought up. Baseball's got to do something to get people interested, young people interested. And this whole it's the big leagues old school mentality is failing. I mean, how many times do we hear it walk around the ballpark? Oh, it's the big leagues. Okay. You're getting beat by the WNBA, bro. How you feel? The world is changing. The world is changing fast. Women's sports is hot right now. Amateur sports all of a sudden is hot. And you know what those sports don't do ad nauseum? Talk about money. Maybe we need to realize that sitting all off season long talking about money and always talking about money and what are guys making and who's making and players complaining that maybe all of that talk, maybe we need to figure out that, maybe the players need, but see, the players don't care because they just care about the money. Players don't care about promoting their own sport, they're worried about their own brands. Me, I. And the owners, they're making money, but they're making money as their popularity is waning. So that's not a good long-term business model. Somebody has to figure this out, and it certainly needs to be somebody who didn't graduate with a radio, television, and film degree from San Jose State, right? I didn't go to business school, all right? I'm trying to get my kids to go to Haas Business School. I didn't go to business school, but I can figure this out. Everybody needs to figure out entertainment, fun. How do we promote this thing? Let's do some stuff, right? Like I want to do way more stuff to this show outside of our studios. I want to do way more. We need to do more. We need to entertain. And striking out 16 times doesn't seem to be working. And let the kids play Nando, bat flips. That doesn't seem to be working either.
And now he's hurt too.
And now he's hurt. They're all hurt. Oh, my God. Did you see, if you didn't see this one today, MLB Central, the morning show, Joel Sherman did a thing about the two teams most desperate at the deadline. Who would you guess? There's 30 teams. 30 teams. You have 30, Commander. 30 teams to choose from. Who does your white whale, Joel Sherman, think is this damn cord? Who do you think are the two most desperate?
Dodgers. The Dodgers won.
You get two choices.
I'll go Dodgers.
Two.
Dodgers and Yankees.
See, that's why Joel Sherman doesn't respond to you. No, neither. Padres and Gigantes. Uh-huh. They showed the amount of money that the Padres have committed through the years.
It's not great. But Bogarts.
Because now it's coming.
Tatis.
Yeah, because Tatis has been nothing. Now it's going to be huge money.
Machado.
Oh, my
Darvish.
God. And then they talked about, you realize since 2016, Giants have had one good season. That was the 107 wins. It's like a total outlier season.
Yeah. That was it. And then they've been I think they were 500 last year or whatever it was. They were 81 and 81. Yeah, they've had one good year. And the year they won 107, and they thought they slayed the dragon, and then the Dodgers beat them in the playoffs.
Next thing you know, Joel Sherman's on MLB Central saying, interesting. Most desperate teams in baseball. I want to hear from, I'm going to take on a big league broadcaster. I think sometimes you need to come down these guys' road. Hi, Johnny D.
Hey, guys. Always love Hot Take Tuesday. Always love Tuesdays.
Did you hear what I was saying before?
No. What did you say?
I was saying I hate hearing, this is the big leagues. This is the big leagues. I'm tired of hearing that. You want to know why?
Why?
We're getting beat by the WNBA in ratings. We're getting beat by college baseball and Olympic trials. That's not good.
No.
So the Rick Wood, great. I thought it was phenomenal. Yeah. By the way, it was all in. It was on Fox. It wasn't on cable. Baseball spent millions to promote it. They spent $5 million to read it. it got beat by Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. The College World Series just beat it. College baseball just beat it.
Yeah, that is not ideal right there. Not ideal. And I know Caitlin Clark has, really helped the ratings for the WNBA, no question about it. And college baseball in the South, it's funny. We used to have games in New Orleans. Rivercats would play in New Orleans, and they'd get nobody. And then LSU would go down there, and they'd just sell it out, right? They'd sell it out for college baseball. So I could see down there, but nationally, that surprises me that college baseball would have better ratings than Rick would. That really is shocking to me.
2 SEC teams, too. Johnny, I need you to get with the commissioner and get some Savannah Banana people and get in a room together and figure out how to change this thing, because something's got to get Johnny Gomes, the guy who owns the Savannah Banana. I mean, Savannah Bananas are selling out Fenway Park.
They are. And I think baseball thought also, get the time of game down to 228, 225, 220, get a little faster game, bring stolen bases back to the game. I don't think it's equal ratings yet, but hopefully down the road, this thing's cyclical, and it will down the road. That's what we're hoping, right?
Hey, did anybody tell the A's that stolen bases were back?
Yeah, they have not had a ton of steals.
We got 35. So we're 28th. Detroit's got 34. They're 29th, and the Giants continue to be so unathletic. They only have 25. The Bay Area is against stolen bases.
Well, Ruiz stole the majority of the bases last year, and he's not on the team. So 67 steals, that helps a lot. But the A's don't really have too many legitimate base stealers right now, right? I mean, that's kind of how it is.
All right, we ready for Hot Take Tuesday?
Every once in a while, you hear a really good sports hot take.
Mark this and remember what I told you. The Yankees will not win the World Series. Winner.
We're going to see the Tyler Soderstrom we've been waiting for. Soderstrom is about to go on a tear.
Looking
Then
like a
you
winner.
hear some really bad hot takes.
I'm calling it now. There will be a collapse in Milwaukee, and the Chicago Cubs will catch them.
Edwin Diaz will not record another save
What?
this season for the New York Mets.
Leading
Now
the
he's
team in
suspended.
saves this year will be one Chad Smith.
Well, on A's Cast Live, all takes are hot takes. It's time for Hot Takes Tuesday with Chris Townsend, only on A's Cast Live.
I think it begs the question, where is Chad Smith?
Oh, I guess I'll have to do a quick Google search. Unless, Johnny, you know off the top of your head.
Where's him?
Chad Smith.
I don't know where Chad Smith is. That's a
He's
really good question.
It says he's a free agent, so no one's claimed.
So the guy that you picked to lead the team in saves last year is not even on a team right now.
Yeah, I thought I was real clever with the long shot pick with him, not starting off with the team and then may go down and come back up and lead the team in saves. That was awful. That was bad.
And then I had Milwaukee taking a dive, and they easily won the division.
And I forget how many games are up in the division right now, but it looks like they might
And they're
win
winning it again.
Yeah. Craig Counsell, who they said.
Yeah.
It'll be him.
Great. All right, Johnny, by the way, how's the weather down there?
It's pretty warm, man. It's pretty warm for SoCal. I know it's not going to be warm compared to Phoenix 117, but it's hot. It's flat out hot down here, in Southern California. Normally you get that, kind of ocean breeze here, but it's really, really warm. Yeah.
Well, it's humid here. It's crazy. It actually rained at my house yesterday.
Yeah, it rained yesterday.
Yeah, it rained. Like humidity rain. Like not rain. Yeah, crazy. 117 is no joke. Like I think it's like at 120 something, the planes can't take off or land in Phoenix.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's no joke. You got to stay inside on that and drink as much water as you can. If you go out, Vinny was telling me, go out before 10 a.m. Get your stuff done before 10 a.m. and then you go inside. So,
all righty. What is your hot take from the Big A?
I know there's been a lot of talk, and speaking of the Big A and speaking of the Angels, there's been a lot of talk about trade pieces the Angels have. They will be sellers at the deadline. I don't think there's any doubt about that. When you talk about Taylor Ward, Luis Rengifo, and Tyler Anderson, I'm saying Tyler Anderson will be traded to an AL East contender before the All-Star break, and he will win a postseason game. I want you to write it down. I want you to follow it. Tyler Anderson's going to be dealt which is not huge news, but he will be dealt to an AL East contender, and he will win a postseason game. That's my hot take.
Like, I'll give you credit if he ends up somewhere that's not the AL East, but wins a playoff game.
I appreciate that.
But you're stepping your game up. You're calling your shot. You're calling your division.
Yep.
I like it. Because who knows? I mean, you could get traded to the Braves.
Right.
You could get the National League has 8 million. You know, Padres need starting pitching. He could go to the Padres. He could go. I mean, who knows?
Right.
Am I going next? Well, I'll give you Ray Jensen's first because he participates. He's kind of building up something Towny has said for years, but the top 3 teams right now in home runs will not make the World Series. So Orioles, Yankees, and Dodgers.
Wow, that's hot take.
That actually is a really hot take right there. Wow.
Now, my hot take was the Yankees, as you just heard. I was all in when they had the Yankees being, the greatest team of all time, and I said it. I said it right on this show, and I was right. They would be dogs with fleas in the postseason because if all you do is hit home runs, Johnny, and then you get in the postseason, you don't hit home runs, how do you score? Kind of like the A's. How do the A's score if they don't hit home runs?
Well, that's what was great about the other day. They got a bunch of runs without hitting a home run, and that's what I would love to see that. You would love to see that. This one,
but the Orioles and the Dodgers and the Yankees, all 3 not making the World Series.
That's a little bold.
That is bold. But you know what? That's what this show is about. It is about being
right. That's exactly right. That's exactly what it's about, Towny.
Well, we've been talking about how we can make the game more interesting, getting more eyeballs on the game.
Yes.
Doing all this.
Yes.
So I'll take it one step further. This is before I saw that they talked about this guy for like 15 minutes on MLB Now this morning. Paul Skeens will pitch in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game this season.
Well, you
know what that is? That's called a heart take. That's in your heart. That's a heart take. That's a hot take and a heart take.
You want to get eyeballs on the All-Star Game? You put this guy in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you want to lose to the WNBA again? No one's gonna.
I want to see Skeens pitch on it. He's been great.
It's the big leagues. Yeah, you're not even beating college baseball.
Yeah.
I get Skeens, get Mason Miller, get anybody people want to watch, put them in the All-Star game so people will watch the All-Star game.
I agree. It's nice. I like that.
It's an exhibition, for God's sakes.
All right, let's hear yours.
Wait, what did you just say? Skeens is what?
Skeens will pitch in the All-Star game this year.
Is he going to pitch against Brent Rooker?
Is this after Rooker wins the home run derby?
I mean, remember his hot pick, Johnny.
I said he'd win the home run derby. I didn't say he's going to be in the All-Star game.
Wow.
All right.
Very interesting.
You guys are all playing minor league.
What do you got?
You want a hot take?
Yes.
It's June 25th. It's time to talk turkey. It's time to talk money. After I just ripped this sport about talking money, I'm going to talk money, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
What do you got?
JJ Bleday. Have you heard of him?
I've heard of him.
JJ Bleday will be the first athletic to get a multi-year deal as this franchise heads forward and starts planning for Las Vegas in 2028. JJ Bleday will be the first A to get a multi-year deal.
That is not only a hot take, it's a wonderful take. I love that take. I absolutely love it. And Towny, I am rooting for that take. That's a great take. It really is.
I mean,
give it to you, bro.
We've been watching him. We knew he was talent. The talent has shown up, and now he is the A's best player. He is the best player. He is a center fielder playing a premier defensive position, and he's one of the best offensive center fielders in the game. And he's at that age where he's going to be turning 27. He's entering his prime. At some point, you're going to want to have some guys around. He's somebody I want around, and I can't wait to see the numbers he can put up in Sacramento.
I love that. I love that. Look, I agree with you. Look, he's played in all 81 games. He's playing against left-handed pitching. He is the guy. And, honestly, like it took him a while to kind of get it. He's catching on. It's not going to go through like these really bad slumps, and he's got it all. I agree. He's fun to watch on a daily basis, and he's a very unique player. And you loved him you fell in love with him after the inside the park home run we saw at spring training in 23.
At Hello, I fell in love with him at Hello.
Right? He had you at Hello for sure. Yeah, he had you at Hello. Yep.
Johnny was calling the game. I was standing behind Johnny, and he hits this inside the park home run, and I'm watching this kid run around. I'm like, this kid's got – he rips it off the center field wall at Ho-Ho Cam and then rounds the bases like a gazelle. I'm like, that guy's got talent. That's talent right there. Maybe I should have been a scout, Johnny.
I kind of like that trade for AJ Puck, don't you? Pretty good trade.
AJ.
Pretty darn good trade, huh?
Who?
Pretty good trade.
Do you have years and dollars for this? We love talking about money. Do we have years and dollars?
No, I don't have years and dollars. I just had to give you a multi-year deal.
Will it be Xavi's deal? What was it, 6 for 66?
No,
it be?
No, it won't. No, it won't. But if I'm JJ Bleday right now, I mean, to think about all you're talking about is buying up arbitration years. Why not get that financial security?
I agree, Commander. I don't the years and the dollars to me are trivial at this point. I think they're not trivial to the player, obviously. But to me, lock them up, get them. I agree with Towny. The first player to lock up to a multi-year deal. I think it's a great call. I think it's a great
take. Call. Hot take. All right, Johnny. So it's hot down there. Ball should be flying. Over and under on runs.
I'll put the over under on runs at 8.5.
It was 9 yesterday, right? It was 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it right now.
It was 9 yesterday, and what do we end up with? 6. So, is it warmer today than it was yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
And I thought we get more runs with Griffin Canning on the mound, who had like almost a 5 ERA at home, and Tyler Anderson's been really good. Well, did you get the chance to talk to Kots about being on Bochy's staff?
Yes. He's really excited about it. Yeah, it's an honor. He his relationship with Boch, so yeah, he's really excited about it. Yeah, it was good.
Unfortunately, let's see. Prediction. See what I got here. Hold on. Where's the over and under here? Where's the over and under? I can't find it right now. I'll get back to you on that, Johnny. I'll get back. You know what? You have a good call.
Thank you. Good to see you guys. Happy Hot Take Tuesday. We'll see you guys.
Hot Take Tuesday. Betting odds. Oh, I got it, Johnny.
What is it?
Over and under is 8.5.
I'm telling you, that was a guess on my part, but yeah. Sweet. I would say on that one.
You got two guys who have thrown the ball. I mean, Tyler Anderson's got a 2.48. Mitch Spence, as a starter, has a 3.58, which on the A's team feels like a Cy Young. How do you like over under here?
You know what? I like the over.
Really?
We're getting to Anderson.
I like the over.
That's a hot take. Johnny said it. We're getting to Anderson.
I like the over. I do.
Mean, when you got Daz Cameron leading off and you got Tyler Nevin at first, what possibly could go wrong?
Yeah, you also got Armando Alvarez's major league starting debut. So we'll see how he does. Got his parents here. He's from Miami, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
He's hitting AAA.
Oh, yeah.
He's been hitting this year.
No doubt. He's going to get his first big league knock today. So, yeah, it'll be a good day.
Oh, wow.
Another hot takes all over the place.
Johnny's calling for the over. Kid's getting his first hit. I mean, wow. You're like Oprah. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. All right, Johnny, have a great broadcast.
All right. See you guys.
I like it. By the way, biggest news today. Do you know what the biggest news in the organization is?
Jacob Wilson might be back.
Yeah. Jacob Wilson could be back at AAA.
I don't know if it's official, but I saw Bill Moriarty maybe hinting at it. When did the Aviators
I believe everything I read from Bill Moriarty on X.
When do the Aviators play? Hold on. What time do they play today?
Where are they?
They're at home. They haven't played yet. You want me to text Fred and ask?
Who are they taking on?
The River Cats.
Oh!
see Dave the lineup?
David Forrest still gets up for Giants A's in AAA. Boy, he hates those River Cats.
See the lineup.
But can he hate the River Cats anymore since we're playing in their ballpark next year?
It's a fair question. Oh, lineup's out. Hold on. Jacob Wilson leading off. That's what it says.
Sure?
Yeah, Jacob Wilson is back.
Number one story on this show, breaking news, Jacob Wilson is back. Not Daz Cameron leading off, not Tyler Nevin playing first base. Look at this lineup.
Are we not going to talk about what else is happening down in Vegas with the Aviators? PCL Player of the Week, Brownie, Seth Brown.
Jacob Wilson is leading off tonight down in AAA. That's all you need. That's the number one story tonight. That's the number one story in our world. We should follow every at-bat, every pitch, because when he gets here, we're not striking out 16 times a game.
Oh, well, that's the hope.
I mean, I still can't believe when I looked at strikeouts today, I could not believe that the Mariners have struck out more than we have.
Don't they?
They're blowing us away.
They struck out, 14 times last night?
They struck out 820 times, 14 last night to match our 16 on Sunday.
And how they don't have a guy that's in the league, like in the, Rooker was going into yesterday, was leading the American League in strikeouts. How do they not have a guy that's past Rooker?
We have 791 strikeouts, which is gross.
Well,
how much time we got left?
About 35 minutes.
All right, we haven't had a break yet, right?
No.
All right, we got to pay some bills. But you know what? I'm going to be real honest with you next. Since we're talking about hot takes, there's 81 games left. What do we need to see? I'm just going to put it very broad. What do you need to see with 81 games left? I might shock you. I might not. Next, right here on A's Cast Live.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? On the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Whether it's a midweek trip to the ballpark to catch a game or a weekend of baseball for the family, grab your tickets for an A's game this season. Secure your seats today for all the biggest matchups, fireworks, drone shows, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on all the things happening this season.
Rose and Seth. It's a drive into center. It's deep, and Straw is back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
So grab yours now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
Hi, fans. This season, Kingsford Capital Management is the official hedge fund sponsor of the Oakland A's. At Kingsford, down to business is their way of seeing the world. Investing has its pitfalls, treacherous chasms of half-truth and despair. Kingsford's mission is to create opportunity through application of proven innovation and entrepreneurial focus with trust, tenacity, loyalty, and growth, establishing a strong reputation as a proven intendant and validated bedrock of American finance. Kingsford Capital, down to business.
August 5th is International Trading Card Day, and Topps would like to celebrate with you. Visit your participating local hobby shop to receive a pack of cards, plus receive a special card if you purchase $10 or more of Topps products while supplies last. You can also celebrate International Trading Card Day with Topps on August 5th at the Oakland Coliseum and receive an exclusive A's card pack. Follow @Topps on social media and visit Topps.com for more information.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit Xfinity.com/network management.
This is the place where you can dance like nobody's watching, win like nobody's business, and get away like you mean it. So what are you waiting for? Come join the party. Take that evening out and make it a night you'll never forget. This kind of action can't be beat.
This is Chris Townsend. I'm proud to announce our year 2 partnership with Link Soul. They've changed my wardrobe, and they can do the same for you. And right now, their spring collection is fabulous. Natural fabrics and versatile styles, perfect for this time of the year. And they want to introduce their performance line for golf, premium for on-course apparel design, and to keep you cool and dry. Check it all out, linksoul.com. That's linksoul.com. Remember, look good, play good.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer. Like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to cinnabarhills.com. That's cinnabarhills.com.
Being a Chevron car these days has been quite the adventure. Miami to Seattle, ocean to ocean. I've stopped at so many states and collected so many bumper stickers. Sometimes I feel like a moving passport book. It's just so great what I can do with Chevron with Techron, because it gives me unbeatable mileage and keeps my engine clean. Plus, there are so many Chevrons along the way. Now the only thing I'm worried about is where to go next and where to put all my new bumper stickers. Chevron with Techron, fueled by possibility.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
And the underdogs Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, 3-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ-for-me or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Streaming from the studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All righty. 81 games left, Commander.
It's crazy how fast this season has gone by, right?
Really?
Is that Captain Obvious or? By the way, the thing you were looking at, where you're looking at the over and under on your computer screen when we had Johnny on, it said that we were 29-51. I want to point out that we're 29-52.
Oh, so you're going to go up against Pick Dogs?
Yeah, I think I will. I think I will.
You're going up against. Oh, you're going to take on Pick Dogs?
As someone that watches the team play every day, I think I know what the record is.
Oh wow!
I hope. Well,
at least they have the right pitchers.
Actually, you know what? I hope I'm wrong. I hope they are right and I'm wrong. And I said we have more losses than we do.
No, you're right.
Okay, so I thought. I was just double checking to make sure.
Pick Dogs. I'm not getting into. I'm not. You and Karate Kid Ray, I'm not getting into your Subway series. You Yankee and Mex Hawks, I could care less.
Garrett Cole tonight.
Over and under there is just 7.5.
Well, Garrett Cole's on the mound.
So?
It's Garrett Cole.
It's his second start. He'll probably be out in 3 innings.
I think he went 3 1/3 or 3 2/3 last start.
Let's see, there's certain places have this game at 8. And it's actually been bet down to 8. And some have it at 8.5. So there you go. You can either get this game over and under at 8 or 8.5. I am going over. Book it. That's Towny's little free bookie bet for you tonight. Over in this game. Easy.
I didn't look at see what Tyler Anderson splits are at home, but I said that about Griffin Canning, and he shoved. I mean, they gave up 1 run.
It's hot tonight. Ball's going to be flying. But Mitch Spence is throwing well. I really have liked the Spin Doctor. Where I went over, there was a band, the Spin Doctors. 358 as a starter. But you're getting me sidetracked here. 81 games left. What do you need to see? 81 games left.
I'll give you one. I want to see the continued. Well, it's kind of shot down today, but I kind of want to see the continued development of Tyler Soderstrom at first base. And I want to see him play against lefties. No, he's not playing tonight against a lefty, Tyler Nevins at first base, but I want to see Soderstrom play more at first base and keep going. I know he had an error last night. That was a rocket off his glove. But still, he's the future, or you think he's the future at first base. You drafted him in the first round for a reason because of his bat. It's not because he was going to be a catcher, I'll tell you that. So you want his bat to come around, and he was, and Johnny called it. I'll give Johnny that. He called he was going to go on a hot streak. I want to see more of him playing first base. Lefty, righty, it doesn't matter.
Well,
you're 23 games under.
You would think that we're not going to play our future and get this kid every at bat we can to make him better. And the reason why we're not going to have our first round pick play tonight and go up against a left-handed pitcher, get him used to facing lefties in the big leagues and saying, all right, here you go, mano y mano. You gotta learn how to do this on a nightly basis. We can't do that because we've got to play Tyler Nevin against lefties. Do you know why we've got to play Tyler Nevin against lefties?
Lefty, righty.
But why?
Because they think he hits well against righties.
He's hitting 184 against lefties.
Well, let's see. I can't. Soderstrom is going to be small sample size because he probably doesn't have a lot of at bats against lefties.
184 against lefties. 184.
Soderstrom against lefties if they.
He's got 3 home runs, Chris. He's hitting 184.
Versus left-handed pitchers. Hey, I can't. Small sample size. He's only had 10 at bats, but Soderstrom's hitting 300 against lefties.
We got to get Tyler Nevin, who we DFA'd and brought him back. Got to get him in the lineup. Got to get him at bats. I like your call, though. 81 games left. I like that. It's a very good call.
I have others, but I figured you might have one.
This is a business. This is a production-based business. And at some point, everybody needs to be held accountable when it comes to the lack of offense. This is now multiple years that this team has not been good offensively. And right now, everybody needs to be evaluated. Players, coaches, everybody need to be evaluated. Are we on the right path? Is our offensive game plan the right game plan? Because if you turn around and you say to me, well, Chris, we don't have money. Well, we're not going to have money next year either, or the year after that. So this is the system you got. Can you perform in the system we got? The ecosystem that we have now that hopefully changes, but right now, this is what we got. Can you perform inside that ecosystem? And everybody needs to be evaluated. And I play cheerleader all the time. I play cheerleader 90-something% of the time. On this show, pregame show, I defend the team in the postgame show. But at some point, you've got to have some honesty for some credibility. And people really need to look around and say, what are we doing offensively? We don't hit. Do we hit some home runs? Yeah, great. But how do you score? How are you going to score? Is he you just going to hit a bunch of solo home runs?
We have 50 of them on here now. 50.
I mean,
How about 91?
congratulations. Congratulations. The offense is worse this year than it was last year. And we talked about how last year was a historically bad team. And you're going to follow that up with being worse. Injuries, who's hurt? I know who's hurt. The guy that stole 67 bags last year that you wouldn't play, that you won't play. You don't like anymore.
Your leadoff hitter's hurt. I heard that come up yesterday in postgame.
Oh, Toro, yeah.
I mean, he's hurt.
Now Toro. Now it's hey, Toro's had a good year. No doubt about it. Look forward to Toro coming back next year. And I'm not necessarily looking at players. I mean, this has to be top down. This has to be big league level, down to the minor league level, everybody who's involved in offense.
I put that as my thing. I put it a little differently, but I put new batting philosophy. I mean, we brought in a guy from Wake Forest to be our pitching. What is his role? Pitching coordinator.
Guru?
Pitching. Yeah. Bring a guy like that. Bring an outside the organizational guy in to kind of revamp the hitting. I mean, if you need to go back and look, and you mentioned how the team has been hitting, just go back to 2015 and see where the team ranks when it comes to team batting average. And you'll see the philosophy has not been there.
Well,
They've hit home runs, yes, but team batting average has not been there.
We've had people say they don't care about batting average. Well, maybe that's something you need to rethink. So I'm saying everything needs to be evaluated. I'm not saying anyone should be changed. I'm not saying anybody should be moved. I'm just saying right now, 81 games, it all should be evaluated. Right? Look at the top offenses in baseball. Phillies hit, Dodgers hit, Padres have been hitting, Astros are hitting.
Speaking of the Padres,
Brewers are hitting. These are all the teams with the top averages. Orioles are hitting. These are all the top teams.
Well, look at the Orioles. A lot of their guys, they drafted and developed. They're not spending money on free agents. The Brewers, guys they drafted and developed. They're not spending money on free agents. Who else was on there?
We've been drafting, right, in the same drafts they have been?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my other things on here. Draft is like in a couple weeks. Draft the best player available, which could be the kid from Wake Forest, the first baseman who hits pretty well. It's college. We did that last year. We got a very good contact hitter in Jacob Wilson. Take the best kid available who can hit. He's from Wake Forest. It's Nick Kurtz. Take him. Unless somehow Charlie Condon, one of the guys, is supposed to be good or there. Draft the best player available who can help your system, and it's not going to be a guy that's going to strike out all the time.
I think it's safe to say, and it's fair to say, that these next 81 games, and even count the minor league, how many games are left, everybody should be evaluated. And I know they're evaluated every single year, but yeah, you need to start figuring out how to be able to be competitive. You need to be competitive. I'm not saying win 100 games. I'm not saying win the division. I'm not saying go into the playoffs. You need to find a way to be competitive, because right now you're not competitive. And if you tell me, well, we're losing a lot of close games. No, all you're doing is losing games. Whatever the score is, the score is. You're just I will give you, as I said last night, I'll give you a certain period where you're going to say we're losing games and they're close games. They could go either way. But when you keep losing them, what does it matter? So you make it just close enough to not win? That's fact.
And you're losing close games like when teams like the Astros and the Orioles, I know we're going with the teams and the Cubs, were losing games, and they could have been losing close games. They were losing close games with the guys they knew they were going to be the core of their team going forward. Chris Bryant was playing every day. Javi Baez was playing every day. These guys were playing. We're going to mix and match the lineup, and we're going to not have the consistency. And they're like, if you're going to lose close games, Soderstrom, Butler, Geloff, these guys should all be in there together. Langoliers. I want to see more of Kyle McCann. We've said that how many times? I want to see more of McCann play. I want to see if he can hit, because he has shown he can hit when he does play.
You're losing close games with guys that aren't going to be here this year, and then everybody's trying to, we call it Maybelline. You know why we call it Maybelline?
I know it's a hair coloring thing, right?
Makeup. You put makeup over it. Little Maybelline. You're winning close game. You're losing close games, and everybody's covering it up for you, Maybelline, with guys that are probably not going to be here next year. So it's hey, we're losing close games, and hey, we're losing. And then Captain Reality over here goes, yeah, but you're losing with guys that probably won't be here. And you're still making these weird decisions on splits. Got to have a left-handed lineup in today. Tyler Nevin's hitting 184 against lefties, but he's got 3 home runs. Is Tyler Nevin the future of the Oakland Athletics? Daz Cameron the future of the Oakland Athletics?
I would say with Tyler Nevin, we like Tyler Nevin. He came up to us he got.
I like him, but this is a production-based business. Yeah. Daz Cameron's hitting 163 with a 532 OPS. Well, look at the splits. Okay, I'll look at the splits. Hold on, everybody. We're going to look at the splits. How is Daz Cameron against lefties? He's got to play tonight and lead off because he's hitting 182 against lefties.
That's okay. I'll look up the guy that he took the spot in right field for. I know Law's not batting average isn't where it could be, but he's also not as many at bats. He's had 127 at bats this year. Give me a second. I'll pull up what his splits are against lefties. I know that's same sideness, but whatever. Some guys are better hitting lefty than righty. There's reverse splits guys. Mark Canada was the best at it. I think I went too far.
You went way too far. MLB is a lot easier to get splits.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I understand why. But you got to get into Law's hitting 0.053 against lefties. But he's only had 19 at bats. He's 1 for 19.
Once again, the biggest story in this organization today, Jacob Wilson is back. It's bigger than I love Mark Kotsay. I love the fact he's going to be on the All-Star staff. Awesome. Jacob Wilson playing. We need people who can play. We need people who can help this team be competitive. And you need to find out. And you know what? What do you want to do with Luis Medina? Oh, he might go to the bullpen. Why? You need to find out if this kid can do it or not. Because otherwise, he needs to go. What are you going to find out in the bullpen? What are you going to find out in the bullpen? They're still running the team. They're still trying to win with this it's like, go take all the young players and take your lumps with you can either take your lumps with the young players or you can take your lumps with this odd construction, bouillabaisse. Bouillabaisse is soup.
Yeah.
You can do one of two things. You can either lose with young guys and try and get better or lose with guys who are not your future. And a weird mix of players and just odd. It's odd, right? What would you rather do? I mean, you got to find out about Luis Medina. You got to find out. I mean, grinding wins. You're grinding wins. I get it. Grind wins with the young players. You're only going to find out about Luis Medina by throwing him out there every 5 days. Look what you found in Mitch Spence by throwing him out there. You found Mitch Spence can get outs. Look what you found in Hogan Harris.
I was just going to say
he can get outs. You got to let guys do it. Let the young guys play. It's just I don't get it.
Dare I say, let the kids play?
Let them play. Give these young men an opportunity to prove themselves, especially with these 81 games when your season's already in the tank at 29-52. What do you accomplish with Daz Cameron and Tyler Nevin? What do you accomplish?
Yeah, it's fair. And like we're talking about pitching, and you're trying to. This is another going to a young guy. This is nothing with Aaron Brooks, who was just DFA'd again today to bring up Jack O'Loughlin, who O'Loughlin was good, and Brady Basso have been good when they've been here. There's a guy pitching in Vegas right now who hasn't given up a run all season.
A Cal Bear.
And Grant Holman. Why haven't we seen him yet? He hasn't given up a run in Midland or Vegas. I think he should be up here at some point. He's another guy I want to see. That's more towards
81 games means you have precious time. At-bats and innings. Who are you going to give them to? And also, we need to evaluate how everybody's doing their job. Because you got to be competitive. And you're not competitive by losing close games. And they're not all close games. What the hell is our run differential right now? Minus what?
I'll tell you.
Yeah. But the 1-run losses, they're losses. What's the run differential?
We are minus 101. That's the second worst in the American League.
Yeah.
Thank God for the White Sox.
Thank God for those run 1 losses. But at some point, it doesn't matter what the score is when you just keep losing. I'm not trying to be super negative. I mean, like I think Andahar, hey, he's hitting 356 the last 15 games. I've said J.J. Bleday is going to get the first multi-year deal. Jacob Wilson is a great story. Going to be back tonight. You're damn right you play Geloff every game. Geloff's got to figure it out. And your people who are working with him have to help him figure it out. Because, by the way, the young players, they're not going anywhere. So you got to find people that can help these young players become competitive.
No,
the teacher has to make the students be able to figure it out. They got to pass these courses. You got to find the teachers that can get these kids to pass their classes.
I looked it up, by the way. It's 12 and 16 in 1-run games.
12 and 16. Yay!
We're actually really good against lefties. When I say really good, we're 8 and 10. It's way better than against righties. And we really prefer playing during the day than playing at night. That's for sure.
We are? We're daytime guys?
We're in daytime games, we're 14 and 21. At night, we're 15 and 31. We rather play during the day. Brent Rooker loves hitting during the day. That was a stat they brought up on
our
TV.
guy Rook has fallen off again. He's had a couple hits lately, but my God, what's he hitting in June?
Hold on, I have it. What do we call it? Is it a June swoon? Is that what we call this thing?
June gloom.
Rooker is hitting 206 with 2 home runs and 7 RBI so far in June. It's June 25th.
What did he hit last June?
191, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs.
And people still call the postgame show going, we got to trade him. But you don't think the other teams know this? If I know it, you know it. You don't think the other teams know this?
Jeff Passan today did say the Cardinals should make a play for him. Cardinals are the new team.
Because Passan has no idea what's going on with our team.
That's a fair point.
These national guys, they don't watch our games. They don't pay attention. Jeff Passan all he's done with our team is talk about ballpark. That's all he's talked about. That's all he has talked about.
You're not wrong.
Now you want to talk baseball? Yeah, because the Cardinals are going to be coming with top prospects for a guy hitting 200 in the month of June. Remember, the other team's GM has to sell the move.
Oh, very fair. There was another rumor out there today. I think it was in Rosenthal's piece about shocker, Mason Miller.
What did he say?
The quote in there from a source. I'll just get to the quote at the end. Never say never, but he's so controllable and he's such a critical part of their team. I think they'd have to be blown away, but they're talking about how much of the package would be. One guy said they don't think we're going to move him. He's too much of a premium guy. So, I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that says if you get the right package, trade for him, trade him away, because he's still so young and you don't know what you have from him yet still, because we still have 81 games left, and if he can make it through the whole year healthy, that's great.
He's not getting traded.
Yeah.
Same
when people say J.J. Bleday, trade him. He's not getting traded.
Okay. How could I trade for Mason Miller right now when I don't even know what he can really give me?
Fair.
Right? It's like no one's thinking about it from the other side. Right? There's a whole other side. There's us, and then there's the other team. The other team is going to need a reliever. Estevez done what? He's done how many scoreless innings?
It's right there.
Where?
He's retired 24 consecutive batters.
So the Angels closer has retired 24 consecutive batters. He's pitching, right? He can go multiple days. Until you see Mason Miller go multiple days, multiple times, how do you trade for him? Or how do you say, or more importantly, how do I blow the A's away when I don't even know what he can give me? And then do I want to make him a starter? I may be completely wrong. I think there's just too many unknowns for a G-man, for a G-man, for a GM.
I mean, he still's a G-man.
For a GM, and GMs value their top prospects so much now.
Especially in our sport.
Like I brought this up with a caller on the A's Clubhouse show. I was like, do you have to remember, Cole Irvin was a guy that 2 straight years basically gave you 180 innings and he's left-handed. That's value. Cole Irvin had value. Opening day starter. He's got the ability to go take 30 starts. He's got the ability to go 180 innings. That's super value. And the best thing we got was Darryl Hernandez, who was what? The 14th ranked prospect for the Orioles. Now you think you're going to go get the Orioles' top prospects for a guy like Mason Miller, who is the unknown? Mason Miller, he hasn't even pitched since Friday.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, Mason Miller is an unknown. Can he go back-to-back days? And can he do it all the time? Because if I'm somebody who's trying to win something or trying to get in the postseason, I can't go, well, Mason Miller pitches on Monday. Now I can't pitch him till Thursday. That's no good to the Baltimore Orioles. That's no good to anybody. You need a guy that, hey, we have the lead, take the ball. Hey, it's the next night. We got the lead, take the ball. Hey, third night in a row, let's go, big boy, take the ball. Can he do that? And if he can't, or we don't know, how do you trade for him?
Yeah, you're right. It's a huge unknown, and he's not someone like Josh Hader who can pitch multiple days. And I know Hader put rules on where he did pitch multiple innings and all back-to-back days and all that stuff or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, you got to find out what you have with him, and you got to, I know that Emo said they've taken the training wheels off, but I need to see more of it. But then again, the devil's advocate, and something you brought up before too, is why do you need a closer on a bad team? But then again, he's 25. It's not like we have an all-star closer that's 30 years old.
Are you using my own stuff against me?
I was just making a point.
You're using my own stuff against me. I like it.
I give you credit.
I like it. You know what I wish we could do? I wish we could, and we will get back into this probably next year, is if we could open up the comments from the standpoint of, my family's in Canada. I'm by myself. What should I do? What would be the recommendation of the fan base for me, for what should I accomplish in this week by myself?
Well, you've already done golf, or you're going to do golf.
I golfed today. This is the first time I have golfed before the show this year. 82 games, I have not once.
What's the first time we really had a chance to?
Well, yeah, it's like we got a West Coast game because I can't golf before we go to the Coliseum. I gotta commute. And then I don't like to golf before our show because usually it just makes me tired by the time. But today, golfed, exercised, felt good, did the show, got pregame coming up. Then we got postgame. First time I've done that. I'm happy. It's walking, man. Getting in.
Trying to think. I would say go.
Well, I would want the recommendations from the audience on what I should do, having a whole week to myself, no wife, no kids. And I would like all recommendations. Some may be pretty out there, but I would like to at least see them.
I did invite you to come watch a minor league baseball game with us on Thursday. That's not confirmed that we're going, but I'm just saying the offer's out there. I mean, that gives you something to do.
I have watched 81 baseball games where the teams only won 29. It is amazing how many people have been like, you watching the College World Series? Oh, yeah, that's more what I want, more baseball. Yeah, you know what I want to do on my day off? I want to go watch more baseball.
Beer batter. You can watch people throw people out of the way for the beer batter.
Oh, my God. I've been watching bad big league baseball. Yeah, you know what I want to do now? I want to go watch bad low-A baseball.
Not only that, hey, but unfortunately, they're playing Fresno, and your guy's not there that you heckled that first year. Zach Veen. He's not there anymore. So
what year was that?
2021.
No, wasn't that before COVID?
No, no. It was like 21. We got to go, but let me see what year V.
I want to say I'm better than that, but I was pretty funny that night.
Yes. Yes, you were.
Yeah, I'm a grown man heckling.
Veen was drafted in 2020, so it would have been 2021.
Yeah. Where is he?
He was hurt. He's in the ACL Rockies. But he made it as far as hold on. He's made it as far as AA.
So this kid gets drafted in the first round. He got like what, $6 million or whatever. And I'm not screaming at him. I was being intelligent heckler. Crowd thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, and he wore it pretty well. But I was in his head. There's no question. I'm an experienced heckler. You could call me a professional, and I don't bust it out much anymore. I used to do it a lot, especially when I played. I talked a lot of trash when I played.
I could see that.
Yeah, the other team outfielders were in the bullpen.
Do you talk trash on the golf course?
Oh my God,
yeah,
it's one of my weapons.
So you're like Larry Bird and KG on the golf course.
I'm like Larry Bird golf. I talk trash to everybody I play golf.
Which one are you MF versus finishing second?
Right before they're gonna putt. Or I'm always talking. I'm like Lee Trevino. I talk to people the whole time because it's psychological warfare. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but somebody had to be the first big heckler in this kid's career. He may go on to be a Hall of Famer. He'll remember me. Remember that guy? Remember that grown man, that old man, the San Jose Giants game who was all over you, all 4 at-bats? Yeah, that was me. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
I think it was my duty. It was my duty to help this kid's career. By the way, we didn't get into a ton of stuff. We didn't get into Joe Madden. We didn't get into a ton of stuff. I still think, hey, somebody's got to get Johnny Gomes. Got to get on the phone, call the Savannah Bananas. Baseball's got to get they got to figure something out.
Yeah.
It's the big leagues. Will you hear that sound of the broadcast? It's the big leagues. I'll tell you right now, you put Caitlin Clark, WNBA, up against both on cable. Caitlin Clark, WNBA, Shohei Ohtani, and Dodgers. Caitlin Clark's getting better ratings on television.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember we talked to Mike Trout? Book Mike Trout on television versus Caitlin Clark. Who gets bigger ratings?
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark right now is arguably bigger than any baseball player we got in the game.
Yeah.
From a rating standpoint, Caitlin Clark, she's a bigger box office star than anyone we got in our game. She should be getting $700 million. She's turned the WNBA into ratings. But this is the big leagues. Man, I don't know what we got to do, but we got to change some things. Maybe we need to spearhead it. Do we have to go?
Yes.
All right, we got to go. We're back tomorrow for what? No, we're
Friday,
not back tomorrow.
Friday.
It's a day game. I forgot. We're back Friday. What time?
4.
We will miss all of you. Coming up next, Angels and A's, and A's Total Access. And then we got the A's Clubhouse show after. But coming up, A's and Angels right here on A's Cast and the A's Radio Network.
Hey, Oakland A's fans, step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get the fastest speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience that knocks it out of the park. And you'll have a consistent connection with reduced buffering and freezing, so you can stay in all the action inning after inning. When it's game time, make sure to catch it all with internet that's powerful and reliable. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity, because it's only live once. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. Many factors affect speed. For factors affecting speed, visit xfinity.com/network management.
Whether it's a midweek trip to the ballpark to catch a game or a weekend of baseball for the family, grab your tickets for an A's game this season. Secure your seats today for all the biggest matchups, fireworks, drone shows, giveaways, and more. Don't miss out on all the things happening this season.
Rose and Seth. It's a drive into center. It's deep, and Straw is back at the track. He will turn and watch it fly.
So grab yours now at athletics.com/tickets. That's athletics.com/tickets.
This has been a presentation of the Oakland Athletics.